hamstring is so goddamn sore right now. Hence the single leg hamstring stretch. The plan was to do legs today, but seeing as though I've beat myself up running twice this week so far, probably won't be hitting legs crazy hard, but you never know. Just a little tidbit, if you're gonna do a hip flexor stretch, so this leg goes into leg extension, okay, you lean forward, so you're putting your psoas on stretch. If you wanna put it on additional stretch, you can just squeeze your left butt cheek, squeeze your glute, and that will lengthen the antagonistic muscle of your buttocks, your hip flexor, stretch it out more. And then you can also introduce some overhead side bending. Okay, so squeeze the left butt cheek, targets the left hip flexor, and then reach over to the right. Works every time. All right, it is 7:19 p.m. and this place closes at 9, so I'm gonna have to kind of make it snappy here. And first time bringing the camera in busybody. Certainly feel a little bit weird about it, but it is what it is. Go big or go home. So plan is to do some deadlifts and squats with the camera. Figured that's a great way of breaking it out here. Makes it seem like I'm more legit than I am. Little cat camel action. Arch. Around. So I was sitting in a chair from 8 to 5. So this is how to undo that, especially if you're gonna go lift heavy stuff off the ground. I'm not the most flexible guy, I'll be honest, I'm not. So I'm not necessarily the poster boy for flexibility, but I've worked through injuries, I like to train hard. Alongside that stuff comes learning how to recover hard too, so gotta know how to stretch diligently. I honestly just love the standing double leg hamstring stretch. Just feel like it hits different. You know, you could also bend and extend one leg to hit one side or the other. So in this case, my left hamstring's really tight. So I'll straighten the left leg out, bend the right knee, and even just kind of rotate my torso to the left side until I feel a gentle stretch on that muscle, and I'll hold it for 30 seconds. That's the name of the game. I'll jump into a deep squat, kind of rotate in and out. Push out your thighs, get a little adductor stretch going. Also, the background in personal training, PT, and osteopathic medicine now doesn't hurt, so I feel like when I bring my leg out here, so like hamstring stretch, right? Point your toe if you're having like radicular pain, like just like a sense of electricity shooting down the back of your leg, which I don't have, but if you have that, you don't want to point your toe towards the sky because that'll make it worse. So point that toe and then bring this out a little wider. Get more of the adductors, the muscles of your thigh that are on the inside of your thigh as opposed to the back of your thigh. And I just sit here until it gets less uncomfortable. Oh my God, there's a dog in the gym. That is electric. I'm not gonna bug the dog though because it's a service dog. All right, that's freaking awesome. All right, let's go lift. See ya. up, YouTube? It is day 63, and it couldn't be more sunny right now. Getting some sun in my eyes. Shout out Angie Huberman. I did some scrolling last night on my phone and looked at a lot of old footage of me working out. Like back in 2019, I started filming some stuff, and I realized like I've actually been filming for a while, and not having done more of it is totally a deficit. So if I were to give myself, a little bit of grief and say, I wish I could have done this better, I would have just done this sooner, honestly. And then it got me thinking as to what other things I could have done over the course of my lifting career, because I've been lifting since I was like 13, and now I'm 26. And I think I started lifting because I really sucked at sports and didn't have great guidance, and then I just found the gym and enjoyed it, and it became a very individualized hobby, and it almost kind of made me a little introverted and lonely at times, because my entire form of physical activity for so many years has just been go in the gym, throw on EDM, talk to no one, lift and go home. And so like after all these years, you start to question whether or not that's been the best way of approaching it. And I think I can honestly say it hasn't been the best way of approaching it. I think if I were to go back in time and I was 13 years old, 16 years old looking at this right now, I would have really dug myself into a community of weightlifters who like to train, know how to train, like to push each other, because I think in anything in life it takes a village, whether it's getting through medical school or building a business or even just like working with clients or patients. Like you have an entire team with you, whether it's like your IT support or your technical support team or your nurses and your staff, the people who draw the blood in the beginning of the office visit. It takes a lot of people to get a job done. And the same can really be said with stuff like this. Like, yeah, this is content creation. It's a pretty individualized thing, but if you really want to have a sick build, I think you just need to have a training partner ultimately, which I don't have, and I have never really stably had. So that's what I have on my mind today. Just if I were to redo this whole thing, all these years of training, I would have just found someone who I could just be with more frequently and lift with more frequently. So if you're out there and you got a buddy who likes to train, you guys aren't training enough together, go train together. Like you'll get stronger. I trained with two people last night. One girl was 19 years old. She was deadlifting like 450. The other guy was, 30. He was deadlifting like 480. And just being around them made me want to train harder. So that's also a very real thing as well. Just surrounding yourself with people who like to push you or are pushing themselves and in turn push you, as a result of being around them. So I'm going to go study for a long time, and it's nice to get some sun in my eyes before I do that. Might bike, might swim. Body needs a break. Worked out 5 days in a row. It's Saturday. I'm 217 today, so still working my way down. Peace.